But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the Log Time Podcast and the Backloggers of the Sun. Our three boon companions have espied Studio Gonzo's 2007 masterpiece, according to one out of three of us, Romeo x Juliet. Join these fellows and see the splendor of a well-executed dub, the pain of a supremely bullshit ending, and how Matt would, quote, rather watch High School DxD. I bid you welcome and hope for your deepest enjoyment.
I'm scared to do this podcast a little bit because not a couple hours ago I pinged y'all and was like, are we good to do it tonight? And everyone was like, yes. And I was like, oh, cool. And I was like, I ate this up in like 2 days. And Kyle says, yeah, I'm really excited. And Matt responds unceremoniously, this podcast will be a bloodbath. It was not like a yes and. It was not a response.
It was just
a like sit down statement. This will not be good.
He just left us with this ominous tone, and we're like, what does that mean?
I thought it was kind of fitting, you know.
Yes,
this isn't Hamlet. This is Romeo and Juliet.
My dude,
we can turn it into
so
Hamlet,
many
though.
fucking people die in Romeo and Juliet. It doesn't reach the body count of Hamlet, but no less than 4 or 5 folks fucking die in the play. It's not like the pretty good times, except for when 2 kids die at the end of Romeo and Juliet. It's the tragedy of Romeo and Juliet. So, like, ugh.
Yeah.
But yes, it was definitely fitting. But the thing is, like, I'm just so used to you at this point, Matt, that I didn't know if that was like a dumb joke or if it was something like cryptic. And by cryptic, I mean not at all, you know, veiled about how you felt about the show.
So a lot of the statements I make are vague, purposefully,
yes.
I guess.
It's a feature.
It's a feature of Matt. It's just how it is. Yeah. So, Zach, you said this was your
Yes.
show, right?
Yeah, this was my show.
This show hurt me.
Okay, in what way?
In what way? I was bored out of my mind. I was so bored by episode 7 that I was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna finish this. Like, I literally was so fucking done with it. Because I was like, oh my gosh. I just wanted something different to happen. And nothing happened. It was just what I expected. It was one of those shows, and I guess this is just a bad thing about Romeo and Juliet, is it's just one of those pervasive pieces of literature that everyone knows about. Mm-hmm. And if you don't do anything to kind of spice it up, it's not interesting to watch. Like,
okay,
that's what I think. There's a lot of things that kind of go into that, but if you want to say something, I'll put it on the back burner.
No, you've got a perfectly valid point, and you have the floor. I'm going to tear you a new one, but go ahead, my dude. You have the floor.
Okay.
I'm not going to interrupt you.
I mean, I've just kind of set the stage. No pun intended. I don't know. I just felt like there was just. I feel like this anime, like, I don't hate this anime. I want to throw that out there. I don't hate this, but I don't think this was anything spectacular in the realms of, like, I don't know. I would say probably not spectacular in terms of Romeo and Juliet, but I don't really know how that story is spectacular to begin with. So maybe that's just a personal vendetta against that. But also, like, I don't think this anime was an outstanding work either. Like, there was a lot of pieces that just felt, like, really flat. And just, like, wasn't very engaging. Like, there were pieces where I thought, like, oh, wow, this story could actually, you know, you can put some twists onto this story and make it, like, kind of interesting. Which I can see that they tried to do in some parts to make it a little bit, you know, different from, like, you know, the original, obviously. But it kind of just ended up being the same thing, which I guess is just what I expected out of the show. And I guess I'm kind of disappointed in that regard.
Mhm.
Like, I just thought it was going to maybe take the Romeo and Juliet ideas and try to do something different with it, but it ended up just being the same thing with almost like a, let me copy your homework and make a couple changes and you're good to go sort of thing. Like, I think, and I actually don't know if that's a fault of the backbone of the story, which is the Romeo and Juliet story, or if that's a fault of the anime itself. It's kind of hard to differentiate in my mind here, because it's just, I mean, as I said, I've seen so many iterations of this at this point that it's really hard to, like, delve into my mind and try to pick out what parts that I don't like and which parts that I like about it. Does that make sense?
Sure, I understand where you're coming from.
Okay.
And I can see how you would have that perspective on it. I respectfully disagree.
Okay.
But it sounded like you had more, though.
No,
like,
I mean, I have more, but I'm willing to hear the counter argument first, because I really just don't see anything beyond what I see right now. So
yeah, no, and that makes sense. So, I mean, Romeo and Juliet as the source text is at its core about, this kind of young forbidden love and the like the misery that comes from this sense of feuding with others to the point where it's like you don't even really know why these groups were feuding anymore, and just how hatred continues to breed hatred and shit like that. And I mean, like, it's an old and tired story, but it's an old and tired story because this is one of the ones that originated that, or at least propagated that popularization of that kind of story. And so I think it can definitely be the sort of thing where it's like, oh my god, I've seen this before. It's like, yeah, because this is kind of partially responsible for it. And so I think it's interesting to kind of consider how, that sort of archetype, and how we look at this and think like, oh my god, it's falling back on this. But it's because it is, again, part of an originator of the archetype. But that's neither here nor there. Quick question. Did you watch the subbed or dubbed?
I watched the subbed.
Oh, man. So you fucked up.
Oh, I fucked up then.
Oh my god. The dub is immaculate. The dub is astonishingly good. Holy fuck.
Damn.
It's like I was watching a Shakespearean production on stage.
Damn.
It was fucking nuts. Like, great shit. And I think that that's maybe part of, like, what led me to love this so much. In that, like, it was so fun to see what, like, the ADR directors and such did with the script to make it in, like, oftentimes Shakespearean meter and things like that, and make it sound as though they kind of did take the source of Romeo and Juliet and adapt it into something that was still, again, in its own time in terms of language and all that sort of stuff. And I'm sure that some of that is kind of, like, lost in translation with the sub version of it. Were the subs, like, at least in, like, doth and thou and shit, or were they pretty standard?
They were standard.
Oh, we watched completely different shows then, man. We watched completely different shit. Man, okay. I'm gonna skip the discussion of why the dub makes this an unbelievably good show, and I'll just kind of cut to what I was going to talk about in terms of theme, because that's the only thing that really matters in our comparative measure here right now.
Okay.
So, like, with Romeo and Juliet, I don't care that much for the original play. Like, it's fine. I think if we're talking about the whole Shakespearean canon, there are plenty better plays in terms of both tragedy and comedy and history than Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
I think that there are plenty more accessible texts, and I think there are plenty more plays in, again, Shakespearean canon that have leads that are not completely fucking insufferable. Romeo is completely insufferable in the source text. He is a privileged, naive little dumbass. And I understand that he's like 15 or 16, like they're young kids. Mm-hmm. And so, part of it is understandable. But a lot of Romeo's naivety and just complete fucking utter lack of a brain is entirely on him, not on the fact that he is, again, a teenager. Right. Because Juliet is the same age as him, or of similar age, and has a good bit more, in terms of her mental faculties about her. Mm-hmm. And so it kind of ends up being about, like, these two sweet, privileged-ish, kind of rich kids fall in love with each other, but their families don't want them to, and so they kill each other in the end. And what Romeo x Juliet manages to do is kind of weave it into a story about class divides and how the rich engage with their privilege in a sort of sense where, Romeo is definitely kind of a dumb-ish, noble kid, but over the course of the story, they adapt so much and change so much, like where he is kind of exiled from Verona to go oversee a slave labor camp, and he understands and comes to really grapple with, like, the weight of what it is to be a noble, and how that status of his is only brought about because of the suffering of those beneath him.
Right. And
how their whole society operates on that. And none of that is at all in the source material. Mm-hmm. Like, none of that is in the original play. And I feel as though they did an unbelievable job and an impossible job of actually making Romeo a likable character. I liked Romeo as a character. He was endearing, he was sweet, he's a fucking dumbass, but by God, he tries. And he has more than half a brain in him in this one. And the fact that they ended up making Juliet not just this, this ghostly waif sitting on a balcony wondering why Romeo has to be from another household, and instead makes her this really interesting, like, heroine and this fascinating, like, champion of the underclassed. And it's so fucking fascinating to see this story, or the original text, be taken in such a way where Juliet is the one that is working with the greater sense of agency here.
Yeah.
And Romeo and Juliet both have equal parts. And that is fascinating to me. I thought that the way that they were able to, again, take the core romantic story there and adapt it into something larger in terms of, understanding how class divides can really, embroil a country, and how it can, ultimately lead to, revolts and, change. And a lot of it felt really fucking timely right now. Like, I was like, oh God, I'm glad I didn't watch this like a week earlier, or I would have been real wigged out. But, like, I don't know, man. I appreciate where you're coming from, Matt. And I think it's a perfectly valid reading of it. But I'm just astonished, honestly, with how much it felt like they adapted the source material and how completely different it felt from the original. I will say that the ending, the tragedy, felt completely unearned. The tree subplot was dog shit, stupid shittery that was only here to, get the actual tragic ending, which was, again, completely fucking unearned.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't even think it was going to happen because, full disclosure, so this is done by Gonzo. Mm-hmm. And this was put out in, like, 2007?
2006, 2007?
Yeah, 2007.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
2007. And Studio Gonzo also did an adaptation of The Count of Monte Cristo, called Gankutsuo, not like a year or two before this. And so, with Gankutsuo, they ended up changing the ending of The Count of Monte Cristo. Completely changing it.
Okay.
And so I went into this thinking like, oh, there's a chance that they're going to, show how, love can conquer this shit and break the cycle of like hatred and all that shit, and they get out alive. And I was crushed when they decided, nah, we're actually going to keep that tragedy.
Yep, I got words about that ending. I got a lot of words about that ending.
That actually could have, yeah. So I'm gonna kind of just go over everything you just said. Number one, yeah, the tree ending that was not satisfying at all.
No,
that was stupid. I thought it was dumb.
Yeah, worst fucking part of the whole show.
Yeah. Definitely by far.
Hands down.
So, number two. I see where you're coming from in terms of the characters. I think they're definitely I didn't think of them as completely stupid in this show as I did in the original. But so yeah, hands off to them there. Number three, I think this is number three. I haven't been counting.
It doesn't matter.
Number F.
Yeah, number F. I also get where you're coming from in terms of like the nobles and like the classism sort of things that you were talking about and the class elitism. Like I think that was an interesting part of this story. I also though want to say that is kind of like a thing in the original story. Like
is it though?
I mean, I got that kind of vibes from it reading it like now, obviously. But that's probably not something in the story, but it's something I got from the story. So, I don't know.
Because it's been a long time since I've read the original story, but in my mind, it was always two noble families warring, and everybody else is just stuck in the middle of it. And it's like, you can say that it's a story about how, like, hey, look how fucked up a bunch of nobles being nobles is. But at the same time, it also doesn't necessarily... I don't know. It's not the same.
It's not the same, but it is. You could extract the same principles. Like if you look at nobles being stupid with each other, like that's in a way I think that speaks out against like the rich class, like in a not in the same way, but it's a similar way. Like it's still like a knock against the rich. It's just more subtle. Like it's still in the same vein though. Like it's not. I don't know. I don't feel like it's that far fetched. That it's not that much different in my mind.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Shakespeare to make fun of the nobles, but yeah, I don't know. It didn't feel quite the same to me just because of the way that this story does it is just dramatically different.
I mean, I can see how you might extract that kind of reading from it. And again, you're perfectly free to see it that way. But what I'm saying is there's a difference between a story with undertones about like, look at how flippant the rich are, and having a story that is explicitly about the rich stepping on the underclasses and the underclass revolting.
Yeah, I mean,
like there's a difference there.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that there's not a difference. Like the extremes of those two ends of the scale are very different, obviously.
Yeah.
I guess another thing that kind of just it doesn't really bother me about this story, but yeah, I think what you said kind of plays a part in it as well. Like, living in America, it's November. We all know it's around that time. It's 2020. Yeah, probably a little bit too close to the I'm just kind of done with all the election garbage. So, that's just kind of another additional layer of
just
I really
rubbed you the wrong way in that case.
Not a good time for that. So really, it's kind of just a tragedy in terms of just it appeared at a bad time. So you could look at it as a tragedy, or you could look at it as a miracle.
A real comedy of errors.
A comedy of errors, yeah.
Oh no, sorry. You keep going.
Oh, I'm done.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, because I hadn't really talked about what I liked about it. I kind of lean more towards you, Zach. Actually, not kind of. I very overtly lean more towards you. I absolutely love this telling of the story. As somebody who fucking hates the original story, I was like, oh my gosh, I genuinely enjoy that this is, all the wonderful intrigue and all of the interesting ideas behind it, making Juliet this kind of like underdog standing up for the lower class. As a noble that's lost her title, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, just the fact that Juliet has so much wondrous agency throughout this series, and then on top of that, the actual love story is a love story instead of hi, I'm 15 and I have the hots for you. Let's kill each other. Like,
wow,
because that's what the original story is. And so I absolutely love that you get to these two characters spend so much time together, like understanding each other, actually like getting this genuine like romantic relationship. And so that was super cool. But I think that's also why I fucking hate the ending so much.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about the tree is dumb. Honestly, it is
so
but
fucking stupid.
On top of that, it's infuriating that, like, the last half of this show, Romeo and Juliet aren't even together for most of it. And so whenever they're finally back together, it's only for this tree shit. And it feels so dumb.
Yeah.
And then, and on top of that, it's like, if we're going to say, like, their love was what saved everybody, it's like, okay, sure, but like their love didn't mean shit in the end, because there was this whole arc in the tree thing of like, no, we can change fate, like we can do it, and I was like, oh, okay, this will be really interesting if like they change it and they actually make it where they survive, because it's like you're destined to die for this tree. It has to be done. And I was like, okay, that's going to be really cool, since they're like really ramping up for, no, we're going to change the way that this works. And then they pull this whole pseudo thing where it's like, well, we killed the tree, but she still had to die for the tree, so yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is horrible.
Yeah.
And Romeo dying stupidly? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's just
man.
like, and that's the thing, if they hadn't worked so hard to telegraph that they were not going to have to die for this, I would not have been so pissed.
Right.
Like, if it had just been, like, this brooding sense they were for sure gonna fucking die, cool, fine. I would not have had an issue with that. But, like, there's no less than, like, 10 episodes worth of, like, small drops here and there, of little buildup of, like you say, Kyle, changing fate, changing destiny. Do I really have to die for this? Is this really my fate? And
they end
all of that
every
is
episode
signaling
with that same line.
Yeah, and it's like, it is all leading into the sense of, like, no, we can, we'll fucking Gurren Lagann, pierce the heavens, baby. And it's like, no, actually, you're still just gonna die, but, like, maybe in a different way, but you die together. And it's like, what? Do you have any grasp of, like, foreshadowing or pacing this shit? Do you have any idea, like, how to properly do this? Like, are you kidding me? It was always infuriating.
It's bonkers to me that this show
in the teeth.
Yeah, it's bonkers to me that this show has this ending, because like I was fucking here for this show, like episode 1 all the way through until we get to, like, what was it, episode 22 when they finally killed the prince.
Yeah, it was 22 or 23 thereabouts.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck yeah, all right, hell yeah. I'm surprised that it's, wrapping up so quickly, but we still have 2 episodes. What could happen? And then the last 2 episodes are just a garbage fire.
Yeah.
It's so disappointing whenever, like, the rest of your show was, in my opinion, great, like, fantastic. And the fact that it was such a great twist on the original story, making it into a really cool setting and fantasy world, making it so that our main characters actually have agency, and like telling all these other interesting tales along with it. I'm like, this is fucking great. Why the fuck did it end so shit?
So,
and I think that... Oh, sorry, go ahead,
I
Matt.
was just going to say that, I mean, I know Zach talked about that bit with the mine earlier. I actually liked that part of the show.
That was a good part.
Yeah, it was fucking great.
I actually really like that arc. Actually, I think a lot of the side arcs in the show are way better than the main story, but that's just me. On top of that, you guys are talking about the ending of each episode, and I think maybe this is where the difference in our perspective lies here, is that I went into this show, and I guess maybe here's the thing, is I went into the show thinking that this was going to be like the original. And so when every time the episode ended in that line, the only thing my mind could think was, yeah, you're gonna die. There's no way that this ending is not gonna end like this. So I guess when the tree thing happened, I wasn't surprised, just disappointed.
I was both surprised and disappointed.
It was just like, because I think in that episode 24 when they both die, I was just like, of fucking course it goes like this, because there was no other conclusion to be reached. Of course,
and there really wasn't.
And I guess here's the difference is that you guys apparently saw this different thing, like about the the classism thing and the fighting against fate, which apparently I just fucking missed. And I guess that you guys thought that maybe it was just going to go against that, and I didn't. And
again, I watched Gankutsuo, and they fucking changed the ending of a classic text, which results in the main characters dying because of like revenge and other shit. So I just kind of figured that they had a shot of changing it.
And I mean, and I mean, for me, it was this thing where it was just I was seeing how dramatically different this story was from the original text, and I'm just like, oh fuck yeah, they can do whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. See, I guess I don't know. I just felt like it was the same. So I guess I didn't foresee a change. So of course it was going to end that way. So I don't know. That's
no. And with that perspective, that makes perfect sense. Like, why the fuck else would you think that it would end any other way if you watch the show and are viewing it as a completely like non-separate thing from the original text? Like, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So like I feel you there, and I can definitely understand from coming from that perspective.
Gosh, though, like the fact that it was for me such a great show, I'm just so annoyed at that ending.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, like I'm not. The ending was shit. Like it's. I mean, like again, realistically speaking, like how could you expect anything different?
But at the same time, like, if you're going to do it, at least do it fucking right. Don't give us this.
Don't make it a fucking cop out.
Yeah, don't make it a shitty cop out at the end.
Yeah.
Don't give us a fucking Gynax third act and pull some shit out of your ass that actually makes it terrible instead of like a pretty decent final act. Like, come on.
Like
have some self-respect.
If inevitably they did have to die together, oh, how tragic. At least fucking write that. Don't give me a tree person.
Yeah, God, the tree
make it something that is actually in line with the story and the narrative that you have crafted up until this point. Because the story's not about the fucking... oh my god, what was it called? Aeschylus. Aeschylus is a fucking Greek tragedian. They named the fucking tree after some old-ass Greek tragedy playwright. Like, fuck that, man. And, I mean, like, I guess with that in mind, I should have seen that even further from the start, but that's neither here nor there. I don't know, man. Like, it bummed me out, especially considering, kind of like you said, Kyle, I was so enamored with this show, and I think it's for a lot of different reasons. I feel like I've watched a lot of I feel like I've watched a lot of romance series in the last like year or two, like recent new romance stuff. And Romeo x Juliet managed to feel so fucking fresh compared to a lot of these. Like when I see a lot of romance series now, it just feels as though they're playing out the same like handful of scenarios and the same handful of reactions and tropes and everything. I'm just fucking tired of it, man.
Yeah.
Like it's all this it all hits almost invariably the exact same way. And that's not to say there's no exceptions and shit. Like Tony Kawa, for instance, like airing right now, I love that shit because again, it's taken a totally different approach to a romance series formula right now. And I'm so happy with that. But also at the same time, Kyle, to hit on what you were saying, like the characters all feel like they have a real sense of agency in this show. And I'm not going to sit here and say like, man, you know, Moe ruined anime and new anime shit or something like that. But I also look at this and I'm like, my God, they kind of don't make anime like they used to back in the mid 2000s either. Because it felt so different.
It hits like, a lot differently compared to
it does.
Stuff now.
And I'm sure that part of that's just a nostalgia thing. But at the same time, I wasn't watching shit around then, so it can't like really be that much of a nostalgia. I don't know. It felt really refreshing to see, like, for instance, a romance series where like we're not spending 12 episodes to maybe get like a brush of against a pinky or something, and we're also, you know, not waiting for like some fucking panty shot or something like that. I don't know.
It's nice to get a bit more of a like classical romance where two people like genuinely fall in love and they're not going to like pussyfoot about.
I think that's what was the most refreshing to me. Yeah. It's just like I've been so just fucking done with a lot of the more recent romance and romance adjacent stuff that I was just like, holy shit, man, this was a complete like shot of adrenaline for that like kind of quadrant in my brain.
I will say, as far as the story sans the tree goes, I thought it was cute that the prince was this I'm a bad guy. Like the entire time, I thought it was cute at first, but then it started to kind of like get on me as the stories went on. I was like, why the fuck hasn't this guy died yet? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Prince Montague was a fascinating character, and I feel like they did a really interesting job of humanizing him without like condoning his batshit crazy schemes.
Yeah, his just straight insanity. The poor are revolting. What do we do? Well, we'll just burn them. And it's like, yeah, because that'll go great. Like all the people that tend your crops and your farms. Fucking hell.
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong?
It's so batshit crazy.
Nah. Yeah, like it is by no means a perfect show.
No.
And it's definitely like there's definitely spots where I'm like, but did y'all really think that one through?
Like like when Romeo and Juliet get captured after running away, trying to escape from it all, and then they're like, oh, we'll just take on a squad of soldiers by ourselves. That's fine. We can do it. It's like...
Yeah, it's like, oh, 16-year-old logic.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta love it. Yeah, I don't know.
It's not a perfect story, but I would watch this again. I so enjoyed it. In fact, I probably will watch it again because I missed out on the dub. I enjoyed it even if the ending is shit. But it was a good series. Also, mad shout-outs the fact that they just straight up had Shakespeare in here as a character. And he's just flamboyant and goofy, and I love him.
So fucking fun. Matt, I do want to nod to something that you noted pretty early on, that you were bored to tears by this show by like fucking episode 7.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I've gathered, like you all said, the sub didn't do anything wild with the text, and it was just like very standard, like modern day conversational shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
would've been
it was a bit dramatic whenever it needed to be, but yeah, other than that, it was pretty standard.
Okay, I would have been bored to fucking tears if I watched that version, because I don't know, man. Like, I don't see how you adapt like the kind of dramatic language of Shakespeare into modern speech and it be like anywhere near as compelling. Like, it just sounds like it would have been fucking boring. Like, it would have been like reading fucking Spark Notes or some shit. And I'm like, goddamn, no.
It's kind of the shtick of Shakespeare, is that you gotta have the text where he keeps playing these clever little word games, or like has these like neat little things that some of the characters say and they stick in your head and you're like, oh okay, that's cool. Like, that's the whole reason why
that's why it's interesting. The wordplay and the puns.
Yeah.
That's what he's known for.
Yeah, exactly. That's his
one
thing.
Of the things, yeah.
And it's also why the Romeo and Juliet, the live action one with Leonardo DiCaprio. Well, I fucking love that one.
I like that one too.
I love that they're like, "What? Bring me my long sword," and they just hand him a sniper rifle,
a fucking pistol. Bring me my dagger. It's a fucking pistol with the word dagger inscribed on the side.
It says dagger 9mm. So
oh my god,
good.
It's absurd.
See, that's why that adaptation's really good.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's good, but I don't think it's good in the way that they wanted it to be. Like, I love that version for all the wrong reasons, because it's absurd.
But like that movie legitimately would not be what it is if you took the language out and you just replaced it with modern language. Then it would just be a dumb like Disney Channel like love series. Like, nah.
And so that's the thing. Like, the dub goes so fucking hard, and it is, again, a lot of it's in iambic pentameter. A lot of it is like, I would say 95% of the script is in like actual like, or as close as possible to like Shakespearean English that was in that. These motherfuckers, they use the fucking word wherefore correctly in terms of like, they use it as why, because that's what wherefore means. It's not wherefore art thou Romeo. It's not like, where the fuck did you go? It's why are you Romeo?
Yeah.
And like, that was what captured me almost the most about this show, and what really made this such a magical watch for me.
Yeah, I think that would be a lot better for me.
Yeah, like, here's the thing. I would not think as highly of this show without the dub. Like, if I watched this in the original sub, I would probably be about, maybe not exactly where you're at, Matt, but I'd be approximate there.
I was 3 drinks in and wanted to stop.
So... Yeah, it's just the writing of the dub and the dub voice cast sell this fucking show and make what would probably be like a 6 or a 5 kind of show much better than it would have been otherwise. Like, I think about watching Romeo x Juliet and just seeing standard translated like everyday English speech, and I'm retching a little bit in my head.
Yeah, it was
because
not good.
It's
I'll tell you right now.
I don't know. I thought that it was just a delightful twist on the tale, so I was fine with it being the standard English. But now that you've told me that it does that shit in the dub, I'm like, yes, no, please, I would like that. Yes.
I would have been okay. I would have been okay with the modern dialogue had it been a modern twist on the tale.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Like, I would have been okay with, like, if they did some Blast of Tempest kind of shit.
Yeah, see, that would have been completely different. Been a different story. But it just...
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Zach, I think
Yeah.
your English nerd was showing a little bit there in, like, the segment, like, 2 minutes ago. Just saying.
Oh, yeah, of course it was.
Yeah.
How do you think I was going to approach that?
I'm not gonna.
I have 2 fucking degrees, dum-dum.
I'm not gonna.
What do you
lie,
think I'm gonna do?
I can't imagine being in the department whenever they bring this script to you for like the like Western release, and they're like, so we're gonna do some flaps and different little changes to the animation, and you're like, oh no. Like,
Oh,
I can't imagine being in the animation department for whenever this gets like ported over to America, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot of them there flappy mouths. How good is your flappy mouth?
That's what they say in the department meeting. We're going to do a lot of flappy mouths in this one, so you guys better buckle up, get ready for some overtime.
Flappy mouths. Jesus. Yeah. So I guess, like, bottom line...
Watch the dub is what I'm hearing.
Yes, bottom line, watch the dub.
If you're not watching the dub, you're not watching the same show, and I would argue it's not worth it.
Don't cry like me,
I
please.
feel like I'm
I'm
a minority
it's
here.
Fine.
I feel like I'm in such a minority because, like, Matt and I both watched the sub, and I was like, yeah, that was all right.
That's fine if you want to do that. But what I'm saying is, if you have the objectively superior dub available, and you just choose not to do it, you're a fucking idiot. That's all I'm saying. Like, you're free to be a fucking idiot, but I just want you to know. That's all. That's all.
Well, I'm glad I'm just ignorant and not stupid.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. In this
you're
case.
just ignorant. There's a difference here. Oh my god. Yeah.
No, yeah. I do recommend this show though. Like I thought it was fantastic except for that ending. I fucking hate that ending.
Yeah. Yeah. I had been jonesing for some not now anime anyways, and this also, like, it scratched the dual itch of it was fun. It was also, it just had that kind of anime feel that I was looking for, and it also scratched my fucking Shakespeare nerd ass brain. So, like, I'm a little biased, but I think it's really fun, and I think again, more than anything, the wordplay and just the delivery in that dub makes this fucking show. It is a testament to how really good localization can absolutely salvage an otherwise pretty okay show.
I think something is said there when Zach, you said that it cleansed your palate for not modern anime, but meanwhile, when I was watching the latter half of this, I thought, man, I probably would rather be watching To Loveru or High School DxD than this shit. Oh. That's literally what came out of my mouth.
Damn, dude!
I was
like,
like,
throw you out a fucking window.
That hurt me.
You classless.
I was like, I don't even like those shows, but goddamn, I want out of this.
It is another reminder how different our tastes are.
That's what happens when I'm a modern anime baby boy.
You're a modern anime baby boy, and you love to hate watch. You love to hate watch. So if something's like just meh for you, it tears you apart.
Yeah, this was terrible.
Kyle, it's only us 90s Toonami kids, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
That 1 year difference in age really kills us there.
It's like you're not even part of our generation.
Yeah.
It's so strange. We're all the same age. Alright, but yeah, recommend it. Okay. Watch the dub.
No, watch the dub if I'm gonna watch this again. Okay.
You're not gonna watch... Okay, but you're not gonna watch it
Not
again.
anytime... Not right now. You're right, I'm not gonna do it right now. Give it like 4 years.
Okay.
Maybe not 4 years. Maybe like 3.5.
You're so specific.
Well, we were just talking about the time of the year.
All right, we're getting gone. Let's get out. Let's just finish on a high note.
Okay.
I'm leaving. Exit pursued by bear.
Bye-bye.
Exit left. Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening. As always, you can find all our podcasts, articles, videos, etc. at thebacklogers.com. Our intro and outro song is The Bear by Shell in the Pit, who you can find on Spotify and Bandcamp. And we'd love to hear from you all in the comments on our site, on the podcast platform of your choice, or by speaking in iambic pentameter. Embrace your inner theater nerd. And as always, we're on Twitter at @the_backloggers, so pull up a log and stop in for a bit.